Seattle, Washington, May 1967. A judo dojo in the University District, 3 blocks from the University of Washington. It's Tuesday afternoon, around 4:30 p.m., and sunlight streams through the high windows, casting stripes of light across the tatami. The dojo belongs to James DeMille, one of Bruce Lee's earliest students, and today is an open training day. About 40 people fill the space. Half are regular judo students. The other half came specifically to see Bruce Lee, who was invited for a demonstration of Jeet Kune Do, the martial philosophy he was developing. Bruce is in the corner of the dojo, talking quietly with a few students. He is 26 years old, 1.70 m tall, 61 kilos. He wears a simple black t-shirt and training pants. No traditional uniform, no colored belts. This already bothers some of the purists present. Among those present is Victor Bergman, 1.93 m tall, 102 kilos of dense muscle and refined technique. Victor is a bronze medalist at the 1963 Pan American Games, heavyweight division. He trained at the Kodokan in Japan, has an impeccable reputation in the West Coast judo circuit, and firmly believes in the superiority of traditional Japanese martial arts over anything modern or hybrid. When Victor learned that Bruce Lee would be there, he came prepared to make a statement. To him, Bruce represents everything wrong with the evolution of martial arts, the dilution of tradition, Hollywood show business invading something sacred. Victor is sitting near the wall, arms crossed, watching Bruce with barely concealed disdain. The demonstration begins. Bruce explains the principles of Jeet Kune Do to the group. He talks about efficiency, about eliminating unnecessary movements, about adapting to the opponent instead of forcing the opponent to adapt to a rigid system. His voice is calm, instructional, but there is an intensity in it that makes people lean forward. He asks for a volunteer to demonstrate some concepts. A student offers, and Bruce shows how to intercept a punch, how to use minimal movement for maximum effect, how to control the opponent's center of gravity without brute force. It's impressive, but some judokas in the room exchange skeptical glances. This works in controlled demonstrations, but in a real confrontation against someone trained? That's when Victor decides to speak. He stands up, his boots making a heavy sound on the tatami. "Sorry to interrupt," he says, his voice cutting through the room like a blade. His voice carries a slight European accent, a legacy of immigrant parents. "But I have a question." Bruce turns to him, expression neutral. "Of course, go ahead." Victor walks to the center of the tatami. "What you're showing, this Jeet Kune Do, is very pretty for demonstrations. But how would it work against someone who really knows how to fight? Someone with real training, real weight, real strength?" An uncomfortable silence falls over the dojo. People sense the provocation in his words. Bruce doesn't react with anger. He simply responds calmly. Weight and strength are advantages, no doubt. But they're not everything. Technique can overcome strength if applied correctly. Victor laughs, not a joyful laugh, but a short, scornful sound. "Technique." He shakes his head. "You weigh what? 60 kilos? 62? I weigh 102. I've trained judo for 15 years. I've won medals in international competitions. You think your philosophy works against that?" Bruce remains impassive. He knows this kind of confrontation. He's been through it before. "It depends," he says simply. "Depends on what?" Victor challenges, taking a step closer. "Depends on whether you're willing to really test it," Bruce replies, "or if you're just here to talk." The provocation is subtle but effective. Victor feels the blood rising. "I'm willing. Let's test it now. You and me. No rules. No choreographed demonstration. Let's see if a 60-kilo man can do anything against a real judoka." The tension in the dojo becomes palpable. James DeMille, the owner of the space, approaches quickly. "Folks, this isn't necessary. Let's keep things friendly." But Bruce raises a hand, stopping James. "It's fine." He looks directly at Victor. "You want to test? No problem. But I propose something specific. Not a full fight. That would be unnecessary and someone could get hurt." Victor crosses his arms. "I'm listening." Bruce says calmly, "You tried to grab me. Use your strength, your judo technique, everything you've got. If you manage to hold me for 3 seconds, you prove your point. But if I manage to move you without you touching me, then maybe you'll recognize there's merit in what I'm teaching." Victor smiles. "That's even better. You're telling me you're going to move me without touching me? A 102-kilo man?" Bruce just nods. "Exactly." Victor laughs again, but this time there's nervousness beneath the sound. "That's impossible. Basic physics. You don't have enough mass. Then it should be easy for you to prove I'm wrong, Bruce replies. The circle of people around them widens. Everyone steps back, creating space. The tatami is clear except for the two men. Victor removes his judo jacket, left only in the t-shirt underneath. He stretches his arms, rolls his neck, warms up his shoulders. He's confident, but there's something in his eyes now. A small seed of doubt. Bruce simply stands still, hands at his sides, breathing normally. James DeMille positions himself as an impromptu referee. When I say go, Victor, you try to grab Bruce any way you want. Bruce, you do what you promised. Nothing but technique. No punches, no kicks, just movement. Both nod. The room is absolutely silent. 40 people barely breathing. Go. Victor moves immediately. For a big man, he's surprisingly fast. His years of training are evident in the way he advances, arms extended to catch Bruce in a kumi kata, the classic judo grip. He wants to grab Bruce's shoulder and sleeve, establish control, use his superior weight to dominate. Bruce doesn't retreat. He takes a small lateral step, just a few centimeters, but the timing is perfect. Victor's hands pass through the space where Bruce was a millisecond earlier. Victor adjusts quickly, trying a second grip, this time lower, aiming for the waist. Bruce pivots, his feet gliding on the tatami with millimeter precision. Victor tries again, and again. Each attempt is genuine, committed. He's not holding back. He's using all his technique, all his experience. But Bruce always seems one step ahead, not in space, but in time. He reads Victor's intentions before they become movement. 15 seconds pass. Victor still hasn't touched Bruce. His frustration begins to show. He breathes heavier, not from fatigue, but from tension. He changes strategy, attempts a more aggressive entry, lowering his center of gravity, going for Bruce's legs in a projection technique. That's when Bruce acts. Bruce's hands, which had been relaxed at his sides, move in a flash. They don't grab Victor. They touch, just touch, two simultaneous points of contact, one on the inside of Victor's left wrist, the other just below his right clavicle. The touch lasts less than half a second, and then Victor is in the air. It's not a theatrical fall. It's not a judo throw where you see the moment the body is lifted and hurled. It's something different. Victor's body simply loses contact with the ground. His feet leave the tatami. He travels horizontally through the air for nearly 2 meters before landing on his back with an impact that shakes the mat. The sound is devastating in the dojo's silence. Victor lies there, stunned. He's not hurt. The tatami cushioned the fall, but he's completely disoriented. He blinks, staring at the ceiling, trying to process what just happened. How did he go from ground to air? He didn't even feel Bruce apply force. There was no lift, no pull, just that brief touch, and then he was flying. Bruce remains where he was, hands once again at his sides. He's not smiling, not celebrating. His expression is the same as before, calm, focused. He waits. Victor rolls to the side and slowly gets up. His face is red, not just from effort, but from humiliation. He looks at Bruce, then at the crowd around them. Everyone is silent, shocked. This wasn't possible. A 61-kilo man doesn't move a 102-kilo man through the air without grabbing him, without using visible force. What did you do? Victor asks, his voice hoarse. Bruce takes a small step forward. I used your own movement against you. When you tried to grab me, your weight was committed. Your center of gravity was advancing. I just redirected that energy. You threw yourself. I only showed the direction. Victor shakes his head. No, that's not possible. You didn't grab me. You barely touched me. How did you move me like that? Bruce responds patiently, like a teacher. That's why Jeet Kune Do doesn't rely on strength. It relies on timing, on understanding physics, on sensing where the opponent is vulnerable. You're stronger than me. You have more weight. But the moment you moved, there was a fraction of a second when all that weight was in transition. In that moment, you weren't stable. In that moment, a small force in the right place could move a mountain. But Victor is still not convinced. His mind is trying to rationalize what his body experienced. It was luck. It was because I wasn't prepared. Bruce doesn't argue. Want to try again? He asks gently. This time, you know what might happen. You can prepare. Victor hesitates. Part of him wants to refuse, wants to leave the dojo and forget this. But his pride, his competitor's ego, his reputation, all of it pushes him forward. He nods. Let's go again. They return to position. This time, Victor is more cautious. He doesn't charge blindly. He tests the distance, makes feints, tries to feel Bruce's reactions. Bruce simply follows, moving minimally, conserving energy. Victor makes his attempt, but this time with a higher, more defensive guard. He tries to catch Bruce with a sacrifice technique, where he falls backward himself to drag Bruce down with him. It's a risky but effective technique against smaller opponents. Bruce isn't where Victor expects. Again, that perfect timing, that micro-adjustment in space. And when Victor is midway through the technique, committed to the fall, Bruce touches him. This time it's a single point of contact, on the side of Victor's hip. The result is even more dramatic. Victor spins in the air, his body tracing an involuntary arc before landing on his side. He rolls twice before stopping. This time, he doesn't get up immediately. He stays there, hands on the tatami, head lowered, breathing heavily. The silence in the dojo is absolute. No one moves. No one speaks. 40 witnesses have just seen something that defies everything they know about physics and combat. Bruce walks over to Victor and extends his hand. Victor looks at it for a long moment. Then slowly he takes it. Bruce helps him to his feet. The two men stand face to face. Victor is much taller, much broader, but in this moment he seems smaller. "You taught me something today," Victor says, his voice low, just for Bruce to hear. Bruce nods. "And you gave me the opportunity to demonstrate something important. It's not about proving superiority. It's about showing that there's always more to learn, always other perspectives. You're an excellent judoka. But judo is a system. Jeet Kune Do is about being free from systems, about adapting. Both have value." Victor takes a deep breath. He looks at the people around them, then back at Bruce. "Can I come to more classes?" he asks. "I want to understand this." Bruce smiles, the first genuine expression of emotion he's shown. Always welcome. In the days that follow, the story spreads through Seattle's martial arts schools. A 102-kilo judo medalist was thrown through the air by Bruce Lee, twice, without Bruce really grabbing him or applying visible force. Some believe it, others doubt, others say it was exaggerated in the retelling. Victor Bergman becomes a student of Bruce Lee. He never abandons judo, but he integrates the principles of Jeet Kune Do into his understanding of combat. Years later, he tells the story of what happened that day to his own students, always with the same conclusion. "I mocked his weight, thought strength and traditional technique were everything. In 5 seconds I was flying through the air, and my entire understanding of fighting changed forever."